So believe it or not, there are still unexplored areas in Halo 3. And although the game has been out for 18 years, no one has ever posted a video getting to this area on the mission of the Covenant. So can we do it?
Let's give it a shot!
So this area is located just outside of the third tower on the mission of the Covenant. Now, right after a Pelican drops off a Scorpion tank, a Warthog, and a Mongoose, your objective is to then charge your way to the Citadel. Now, before you get to the open area where both of the Scarabs spawn in, there is a long, winding path. Now, just above these paths are a mountain range. And to this day, I've never seen anyone post a video getting outside of this part of the mission. Well, except one person. In 2009, Anike posted a 12-second video showing himself attempting a Warthog launch, but outside this section of the mission. Now, this was the only video I could find of any person in recorded history getting to this area. But because it was just a 12-second clip, I had no context. All I knew was it was a possibility to get out of the map somehow. So knowing that this was possible, my goal was now to try to reverse engineer this and find a way outside of the map. Now, I would have to figure this out completely alone, but I did have some assistance. In order to break out of maps, you typically need, well, almost always need more than one player. So I invited my brother to help me do this. I also used a laptop at the same time, so we had 3 players. If we could somehow figure out a way to get out of the map, having at least 3 players should enable us to do pretty much anything required. To start, we figured we'd probably need to put a couple of skulls on. Now, it was obvious that the only way that we were going to be able to get outside of the map was to go up the cliff face. And while we had a couple of different methods in mind, we would need the tilt, cowbell, and boom skulls. The tilt skull gives vehicles really large amounts of health, so in case we needed a vehicle to somehow launch outside of this, we'd have that skull enabled. The boom skull increases explosion radiuses ×2. And finally, the cowbell skull increases mass acceleration, so you can go further from explosive blasts. Now, this was one of the rare times where we had a very easy starting setup. Instead of having to play through the mission, get a bunch of different items required for this, we didn't have to do all that. Because Halo 3 has rally points, we could just start from Rally Point Charlie, right where the Pelican comes in and drops all these vehicles off. Those vehicles would be our tools, and on this winding path, there are brutes with brute shots, fuel rods, deployable covers, pretty much anything you would need. And there were ample checkpoints. I don't know how we're gonna do. Okay, shush. Thank you. I have no idea how we're gonna do this. In the video clip, it was completely segmented and the next section hadn't loaded yet. So I think he may have somehow got out over here somewhere.
All right, let's do the usual Warthog launch.
So our first idea was naturally to use a Warthog launch by sticking the back bumper of a Warthog and standing on the top of it. We wanted to see where the map ceiling was at, if there was any vulnerabilities, and this didn't work. Now, this is one of those tricks where I truly have no clue if this is possible, and I have no idea how to do it. So I'm willing to try anything.
I want some guy from Mongolia. I want a token Mongolian in every show. Just throw it singing.
My second idea was to deployable cover launch really fast past the barrier, but I didn't have any checkpoints, so this was another failure. I have no idea where the map areas are on this. Is my mouse broken?
I think you're broken.
I'm just holding down right click and it's like only working half the time.
Oh, it's just like you. It only works half the time.
Come on.
People
are sick of you being mean to me, dude.
No, they're not. They love it. They love how mean I am.
Why is this? So for whatever reason, I think my mouse is dying, so my boost for my ghost isn't working. But my plan now was to try to go to see if there was any overlap between the next section and the previous section with the path. If I could get a ghost over this wall and then get myself over the wall, maybe I could break the map barrier. And if I got close enough to the loading points, maybe I could just walk to the other side. I had my brother progress through the mission to get a checkpoint, so my plan now was to throw a grenade at this ghost and shoot a brute shot simultaneously and launch it onto the base of the third tower. Looks like that might be good. Now that I had the ghost up here, I needed to get it and take it to the elastic barriers on the side of the mountain. My plan was to boost into them really fast, and then hopefully the pinch from the floor and the ceiling would be small enough that when I got out of my vehicle, I would no longer be in the normal map barrier. At least this was the plan. Where can I penetrate this barrier the most effectively? This elastic barrier is firm, dude. My fucking mouse key, my fucking right click, man.
Nothing.
Why is there half pelicans falling out of the sky every second?
What is this?
Right by where I am, dude. Okay, I need you to get a checkpoint. I quickly discovered that breaking the elastic barrier and getting out of the map with the ghost wasn't going to happen. The cliff face around this with the elastic barrier was just too steep, but I had a piece of equipment called a deployable cover, and with this, I was planning on launching really fast. Figured maybe I could just break past the barrier at light speed. I tried this for about 5 minutes and only had one decent attempt. Now what I was doing was deployable cover launching, so I would jump in the air, look straight down, and as I was about to land, throw my deployable cover and move forward. Our two models colliding would then eject me out a really fast speed, but usually deployable covers work best on flat surfaces, and I wasn't on an entirely flat surface. So at this point, I was running out of ideas. But I had one last one in the bag. If I could get outside of the normal map barrier, maybe I could travel to the edge of the map and see if there was an overlap between the Scarab section and the Winding Path section. Now, in certain missions like Sierra 117, you can load two separate parts of the mission at once if you're outside of the map. Okay, I need you to come off this ledge.
Off ledge.
You're gonna line up
I'm ledging.
To my left
Dude,
side.
I'm ledging, dude. I'm ledging.
Okay, come a little bit closer. Okay, get a little bit closer. Forward. Alright, now get out. So to get out of this map barrier, you first have to drive a ghost into the elastic barrier off the edge of the citadel. You'll then be able to float in midair. If a second player takes the hornet and lines up next to your ghost, if they get out of the hornet, it will start descending down to the bottom of the map. Now if you get out of your ghost, you will break the elastic barrier and be able to fall on top of the hornet, and because the hornet falls so slowly, you won't die. We can then take the hornet all the way to the back edge of the bottom of this section of the map. Hypothetically, we should be fully outside of the normal map barriers. And if this worked out, the plan was to fly over to the mountainside and see if we could activate the other section of the mission by going all the way to the edge. The f am I hitting, dude? This is good old classic Halo, dude. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just fucking around. Trying shit out.
What? That's what I'm here for.
Okay, this seems like the furthest we could go over. One sec, dude. It's about to be sweet. We might just teleport in the next section. I'm scared. Why does section no load from the outside?
Technologia! Technologia!
What in the fudging tarnation, dude? So even though it took about 10 minutes to get here, it took about 10 seconds to find out that there's no load zone overlap. Okay, so apparently what we just did does nothing. So you can't get back to the previous section no matter where you go on this section with the scarabs. And this meant it was basically over. We had no ideas. So we figured, well, if we just drive around the cliff face, maybe we can find some sort of vulnerability.
I want you to know that's the reason this channel's failing. You.
Dude!
Carrying this channel, everyone knows it. My big back.
What's that light?
That's what you could have been. But it's all fading away now. And I can't keep doing this for pennies on the dollar. I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Is there a map barrier here? So less than 2 minutes after our previous failed attempt, idea, whatever you want to call it, we found a potential vulnerability. There's a crack that looks like you might just be able to get up it. And surprisingly, I was able to get nearly to the top of this myself. Now, if I could just have my other players die and spawn on me, we might just be able to push them forward over to the top of the cliffside. Now, I 100% needed assistance because I couldn't get up this final very small section because of an elastic barrier pushing me back down. The plan was to have all 3 players walk forward in the same direction. We were hoping to be able to boost the player just a few feet.
Oh, I'm in a crack. Okay.
You get up it?
I feel like I'm going back. Oh, There we go. I got it.
So with all 3 players walking in the same direction, I shot my brother with a brute shot, and this was enough boost to get him over into this trench. Now technically we were outside of the map. I just needed to die so I could spawn out on him and see what we were working with. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have us both die.
Alright. Going backwards. Oh, I got through. I'm going to go forward. Don't move.
Okay,
I got out. It's the first trick Alex ever did by himself. It's fact. Factual.
Well, we're still not like out of the map. So like I said, technically we were out of the map, but we weren't free to move around. There's an elastic barrier just above your head, so you can't even jump. And we found that we were pretty much only able to go down this invisible crack. But where does it lead?
There's like a crack we're stuck in. This right here, this is a scene like your character's like tripping on drugs and he meets like the arbiter god or something. I have a task for you.
How far can I go back? Am I about to just fall off a giant cliff?
The baby? Like this crack just goes on forever. This is the crack of mystery, dude.
I'm on the mountainside now, dude.
Oh, there we go. Stop. Go the other way.
I can't. There's no space left, dude.
Keep going. That's it? Ran out of space?
Wait, we're still going. Keep pushing. Dude, I can see the holograms of your shit on your arm, dude.
You need to die now.
What exactly is this achieving?
I'm trying to get past this map barrier by dying. Yep. I almost did it.
If we get the triple stack going, dude.
Alright. Kill me. Or hit me, I guess. Just hit me.
So we couldn't get a player to spawn outside of the map so that we could break the elastic barrier. But in doing this, we actually discovered something that might be even cooler. Halo 3's only escalator.
Just hit me. I want to see if it knocks me out.
Wait, dude. Will we just keep sliding all the way till the end?
You want to find out?
Did we just discover Halo's only slide?
I think
Self-propelled.
This is awesome. In the searching for a trick, we found another trick.
He's moving.
Man, no time to talk. You know, they talk about relativity in science class, but only now do I understand.
No hands. Look, I'm not doing anything.
Look, no hands. This is a fun little trick. Yeah, it's the crack just goes on. It's clearly just a crack. So there's 2 collisions right here, and it's just a continuation of the visible graphics. But why? Why does this exist?
Where can we go over here? So although we found an invisible escalator all by ourselves, this still did not answer the question of how Anike did what he did earlier. He was clearly outside of the map, clearly able to move around, so much so that he was able even to pull off a Warthog launch. Alright, I'm gonna kill you both at the same time. Now we first wanted to test the one other outside area that you can go to. You can get pretty high up on this cliff, and maybe if 2 players died at the same time, one of them would spawn outside of the map barrier. Well, this didn't work, and there was nowhere we could really go. Now because Anike had a Warthog in his video, I figured maybe if we got the Warthog up the crack, we could somehow break the map barrier by getting in and out of it. Dude, what if we got like a hog or something up here? Think that would help?
Listen, dude, we already have a hog up here. It's called your fat ass.
Okay, where do we need to get this hog out? At the crack, at the old crack.
Don't be pulling your hog out at the crack, dude. We talked about this last week. Stop it.
I pull my hog out when I see your crack, dude.
Too far, too far.
It's alright. It's okay. I'm gonna get this Warthog up here anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4. Open the door. Open the door. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick up sticks. Pick up sticks. Hog is up there. It's up there. Now get him up there. Go.
Get your hog up there, young man. Whip out your hog, young man. So now that we had the Warthog successfully out of the map, we still needed some luck. It was pretty far away from the crack, and because we were stuck in the crack and couldn't really go much further, we had to go to this cliffside to throw grenades at it. Now, it took us a few attempts, but we were able to successfully use frag grenades to get it back to the crack. However, as soon as I got in the Warthog, it basically got glued to the floor and I couldn't move it.
Conciliation. Woohoo!
I can't move.
All that work for nothing.
Oh, now we're flying, dude.
Nope, I'm turning.
Alright, make it up this mountain. We were able to get the Warthog turned in the correct direction of the crack, and it allowed us to drive up to the mountainside. Now the hope was once we got out of this Warthog as close as we could to the mountain, we would break the elastic barrier.
Am I done moving yet? Get up close to me and hit me so you can knock me out. Mama said knock you out. Please smack me.
I'm trying, I can't get close enough. I couldn't get close enough to the Warthog to beat it further, so I shot it with a carbine and a plasma rifle, and now it was the moment of truth.
I'll pick it up.
We weren't able to break the map barrier. And we had no ideas left for us to actually be able to get past the elastic barrier. So we ended this and called it a video, but it kept eating at me. I needed to know how Anikate got outside this map. So 3 days later, I convinced my brother to help me once more, but this time I was going to try to Warthog launch onto one of the ledges. A ledge we haven't covered yet. Now, in order to get the right trajectory to be able to launch in the correct direction and at the right height to get to this ledge, I had to park my Warthog on top of this rock. Then, with my laptop player, I went and got a checkpoint while my brother and I stood on top of the Warthog. By sticking the bumper with a plasma grenade and backing up towards the turret, I should be able to get enough height to be able to land on this ledge. And then, maybe I could get out of the map. Okay, we're all set up. Okay, I went really high.
Do you jump when you do that?
No. Okay, I'm up.
Really? Nice.
Can you jump?
No. I died.
Okay. It did work.
Alright guys, that's a trick. That's a trick.
Now how far can I go up? Oh, there's like a ceiling here.
See if there's a way around or not.
This goes really far back.
The other one did too.
I can see the lifts later in the mission.
Oh, nice.
The rock is so close. Wow, this goes
What is it
really
about?
far back. We take a straight line forward. Look how you can see all the bullets of the battles. Look at that, you can't walk around.
Nice. How do you find these old videos that no one watches?
Sometimes they come in recommendations. Because I watch so many old videos.
It's hilarious. YouTube algorithm's helping you for once.
What the hell? So what we discovered is that there's even more map barriers. While you can explore this side of the mountain, there's really no way to get to the higher mountains because there's an elastic barrier that runs all the way back towards where we launched up on the ledge. Now you can see where the elastic barrier is preventing us from walking. There's basically a straight line along the edge of the mountains that you can't go past. But I had one last idea. What if I got a deployable cover out here and tried to launch so fast that I broke the elastic barrier and got to the other side? Well, it was the only thing left between us and exploring all of this. So that's exactly what I did. I broke the barrier. This went really freaking high. I think the hornets are inbound. I just glitched through the wall to your side. Well, I'm hitting the deployable cover launch pretty consistently, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to not bounce way outside of the freaking map every time.
I see.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I can launch past this without going so high in the air that I live. So at this point, I just knew it was going to take an impossible amount of attempts to land one of them slow enough that I didn't die. I tried deployable cover launching for over half an hour. Well, we pretty much explored the entire area. And I didn't really come close one single time. So while we were able to discover new areas, there are still areas to be unlocked. So if you think you can do this and break the map barrier to get to that unexplored area, I say you give it a shot. And also, if you do it, let me know. Record it, send it to me, join the Discord, subscribe, like the video, comment. Thank you. Love you guys.